In architecture, construction, and engineering, why are so many firms suddenly hearing more about CMMC, CUI, FCI, compliance risk, that sort of thing, even though they don't see themselves as defense contractors? The answer is because CMMC and compliance doesn't just apply to prime contractors. It also can apply to a lesser degree to subcontractors. Think of people who install the glass, who run the electrical, who pour the concrete. In order to work on federally funded projects, there will be requirements for subcontractors to be some level of CMMC compliant. Level 1, most likely. Level 2, sometimes. This risk isn't theoretical. You might have CUI or FCI in your environment already and not even know it. In addition, contracts coming out are going to start including CMMC language saying you must be this level of certified, etc., for you to even be eligible to fulfill those contracts. What are the most common blind spots you see for firms as they face CMMC requirements? The biggest blind spot is false confidence, or thinking everything's probably fine. When you're dealing with the DoD, CMMC, that sort of thing, you have to be able to prove what it is you're doing. What they're going to want is for you to say what you're going to do. This is your policies and that sort of thing. Do what you're going to say. Those are your practices, your softwares, processes, those sorts of things, and then be able to prove it. How should leadership reframe this, especially for firms that don't think of themselves as Department of Defense contractors or as folks that need to worry about CMMC? This isn't a technology problem, it's a liability and eligibility problem. CMMC is about whether or not you can safely handle FCI, Federal Contract Information, and CUI, Controlled Unclassified Information. And then being able to prove that you meet those controls. From your experience across organizations, where do things usually break down? The most consistent thing is weak ownership of the overall compliance and security, inconsistent standards being applied, and a gap between what folks think they're doing, what they're actually doing, and what they can prove. When there is an audit or an incident, those requirements and the disconnect between what are we going to do, what are we doing, and what can we prove can be very costly. What does doing this right actually look like? It starts with clarity. You need to understand how FCI or CUI enters your organization, flows through your organization, is shared, and how it's disposed of. This is what compliance with CMMC is all about. From there, firms need to be aligned on the processes. How do we get information in? How does it move around? Where do we store it? What do we do with it? Who gets access? Those sorts of things, and then enforce those processes. It's important when you're creating and integrating a process that everybody on the team, every appropriate person on the team is involved, understands, and can work those processes consistently so that they don't fail under the pressure of an audit. If an executive watching this wants to take a responsible next step without overreacting, overdoing it, overspending, what should they do? The right next step is to test your security posture and make sure you understand where you actually are. That's exactly what First Call's Security Stack Challenge is meant to do. It's a senior level working session that helps leadership understand risk, compliance gaps, and accountability clearly. It's measurable in 90-day progress increments and less expensive than you might think. So if you're unsure, please reach out. We're happy to help.